It's week 2 of the Northern Lite basement rebuild, so we're going to get into that. And by the way, I'm Todd.
I'm Carla, and we're the Runaway Roses.
Let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get down to the basement there and we're going to start cleaning up the fiberglass and just kind of do some prep work in order to cut the boards and glue them all down, everything we're going to do. So we're going to start out with that and then we'll start putting them back together. Doing some scrubbing and cleaning. Trying to get the fiberglass a little bit cleaner to adhere the wood down to. It's getting there. It's kind of wet now, so it looks really dark. Got to clean it up and let it dry out, and then we'll get back to work on putting the wood back in.
Such a cramped space.
So part of the problem with this little area where the water valves and dump valves and all that is all the water lines are in here. So it's been a real challenge to work around those. I have moved some of them out of the way. I have tried to disconnect them, but they're super hard. I think they're compression fittings along with the actual screw-on style, so I haven't been able to get them apart. So I may have to cut them and take them apart and then put them back together, but right now I'm trying to work around that since I've had a real struggle getting them out. So right now they're all still in place, but I may have to cut them out. And then the next thing is down here there are 4 screws along the bottom down there. There's 2 there and 2 back here. And then what that does is that goes to the mounting bracket for the Happy Jack. There's a brace here and then it goes underneath. So I'm gonna have to pull those 4 screws out right here in order to actually put new wood in there as well. I got to do that on the other side. The other side will be much easier than this particular area. So I'm going to have to pull those out, redo the wood in there, and then re-bolt the jack back on to the fiberglass. Actually, I'm going to leave it here because it is bolted up here and it's bolted on the side right now. So I'm going to fix the bottom, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to fix the lower mount from the back and put all that back together, and then it'll be good and solid. So that is one of the challenges faced with putting new wood down in the floor here and having to deal with the jacks and the plumbing. I'm cutting little strips of cardboard so that way when I go down to the basement area I can cut them off and tape them into the pattern of what the floor is, so to make a little template. So that way I can kind of cut some of the odd shaped pieces out of plywood instead of trying to cut up small ones and piece them together. That way make one big piece. You'll see. Okay, so we're going to pull the template out and lay it on the piece of plywood and hope that it works. You have to do a little trimming in here on some of the boards that are in there, but get it to stay together. Just the hard part, we'll see if we can
get the wood in.
May not happen. I may have to cut this end off up here.
You can try.
Will. So I have to cut that right there.
Guess you can try first and see how
it
goes.
I'm going to tape it in place so that way I can draw around it and trace it off and know what my exact shape is. Now for the crappiest jigsaw in America. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off here, this section. What it is that we're using is an oak plywood. I'm using that because it's super stiff. It's very strong, super stiff. It's not going to flex like typical plywood. So it's 3/4 of an inch, and it's super, real stiff. So that's what we're using to replace all of the wood in the basement. There it is. There's our new floor. So don't forget, fun first, safety second. There, solve that problem.
Oh, so close. Hey, it fits.
Fits. Just needs a good pounding.
I just want to film the floor, how it's fitting. How you got it in here so far.
I'm making another template around the water area.
Yeah, he's now moved on to this area here.
A little at a time. Slow
Yeah.
process. Now if I can get it out without messing it up. This is all one piece of oak plywood that surrounded the foam there. And then we're gonna have to continue this way and do that whole side as well. But once we get done with that, there's gonna be another layer of, it's like 3/16 ply that's gonna go over the top of it to tie in with what was originally there. And that'll cover the foam, the plywood, and everything. Well, we found some more rot, so just a little bit left, I think. So before we get it all back together, we got to keep digging it out. Here's a little piece of it here. It's wet. It's not completely rotted, but it's just wet wood. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the rest of it out. There's really not much left, but just a little section about like that. It runs through the back. So I'm doing that. Just kind of using a flat bar and a big screwdriver and a razor blade and cutting it out. So we're gonna get the rest of that out of there. And now we'll get back to finishing up with the new fresh wood. So there you go, you can see the wood's all been cut to shape. I try to keep it as much of one large size as possible. And so that's that side. And then come around to the business side with all the plumbing in there. We got all that done. That was kind of difficult to get the wood in there with the plumbing. I did have to take a little bit of it out. It's real loose and flexible, so I'm trying to work around it. What do you think?
It's been a long day.
Been a long day?
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Tired? You ready to stop?
Yeah, even though I haven't done much. I've just been here for moral support, and I've done a little filming and handed you tools.
Yeah, that's right. Doctor?
Doctor?
So I'm glad we got that done for the day. That's probably about as far as we're going to get today. It's Saturday, and it's been working all day on it slowly. And we got a lot done, so that's good. So tomorrow we'll work on actually getting it installed for permanently. And hopefully that goes well. So we'll check back with you tomorrow. Okay, so we're back. It's the next day. We're going to start putting the wood into the basement area. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it down with this adhesive. I got some Loctite. It's a PL8X. It's supposed to be 8 times stronger than your standard construction adhesive. And full disclosure, I've never used it. However, I have done plenty of research on it. And it's supposed to be super strong. So that's kind of what I decided to go with. I was either looking at this or some of the 3M 5200 or 4200, but the 5200 is super permanent. You'll tear up anything if you ever try to take it back out. So anyhow, that's what I'm going to go with. This Loctite PL8X. We're going to go ahead and put it on the wood. I've already cleaned it down there, vacuumed it out, and just prepped it again. And we're going to start putting it back in. I might be surprised how much I go through if I put it on real thick. Carla's out cutting the grass while I'm working on the camper. How awesome is that? Here, take a look. Okay, so I got all the flooring in, all the structural part of the flooring. So that part's done. I can tell the adhesive is going to be super strong. It's already setting up, and you can just tell it's going to be some really strong stuff. So I think that's awesome. I'm looking forward to that, knowing that it's going to be strong. I'm not quite done yet. I still have a thin sheet of veneer that has to go across the whole top of it. And then I also have to do along the back wall as well. So here, let me go ahead and show you what I've done so far. Here's the progress so far. It's all the plywood is in. I've glued it all in. I may glue a few more spots. I've actually gone through 5 tubes of that adhesive so far. So I got one left. I bought 6, but apparently I'm going to need some more. Because what I still have to do is, as you can see, the wall is thin right here because I've removed this whole wall. So I got to redo all the inner wall there, and I got to do down here where the frame, the handy jack mounts. And as you can see, I've put new bolts there, although I'm going to have to pull those back out and put the veneer down, and then put some larger washers on there as well. So the hard part was over here around the whole water area. I got all that done. That was very tricky. I've loosened a lot of the fittings and just been able to kind of work around it. I did have to remove a little bit of it, but you can see it's all done there. I still need to do the inside rear wall. So moving along pretty well on the basement. Got the majority of it done, as you just saw. Like I said, I still have to do the rear wall, all the vertical part, and then I actually have to go back and put the down here the whole generator area back together, and some of the vertical structural boards. And I'm actually going to use some heavier duty boards than what was there originally, so it's going to end up being stronger than it was. So you know, why not? So that's it so far. I'm going to keep going, and you'll see me when I get back to working on it. I'm done for the day. Yesterday I went ahead and I cut the floor covering that goes over the plywood structure that I put down, and I'm just kind of piecing it together. I haven't glued it down yet. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to work on that. But here, I'll go ahead and show you what I've done. So this is what I've done so far. Is I've gone ahead and cut all the floor covering in here, put that down. It's actually still loose. I need to glue that down, but I'm going to work on that here shortly. And this area in here is where the generator went. There's some walls that go like that, so I still have to put all the support walls in. I think this area back here I'm going to leave open, or I'm going to make an access panel or something to that, so that so number one, I can get to the wires and all that, plus I can kind of tie all that up and make for some extra storage in there as well. So I'm going to do that, but right now I'm going to go ahead and get started on gluing this paneling down. Rebuilding this basement is a big job. It's taken me a while, and I got a ways to go yet, but hopefully it'll be worth it. It's a little bit more than what I bargained for when I got the camper, but it is what it is, so keep grinding away and get it done. As you can see here, I've put a bunch of clamps on there. What I've done is I've clamped up the new inner braces for the back wall. I've done that all around that storage area there where the generator was. I put one down there in the corner for the new brace for the Happy Jack. And there's also one over there in that corner that I've had to put in. So I still have the water side area over there to work on that next. I'm going to do that here shortly and glue that back together. And then now that I got the vertical pieces in, I can go ahead and I can put down the floor covering that's going to cover over the structure that I put back.
So I'm working on the steps and the doors today. We have several other things that we're going to do, but so what I'm going to do is clean these up. I've sprayed them down. I'm getting all the, what do you call this stuff? Reflective tape or whatever, the tape that's on it, skid tape, and peeling all that off. I'm going to sand it down, repaint it, and do the same thing with that one. And then for these, I'm just going to clean them up, clean all the adhesive off the back, and get them ready to put back on the camper.
I'm about to glue down the wood that goes over everything I've done, but I just want to show you here. You can see where I've replaced all the vertical wall supports that go in each corner with the Happy Jack area, and then over here on this side as well, right there, replace that. So that's good and solid now, and it's not going anywhere, that's for sure. So I'm about to go ahead and start putting this 3/16 ply down. It's going to go over the new wood frame that I put down. I've got it all ready to go. So I got the big piece is right here inside. So I'm going to go ahead and spread some glue out. I'm going to put it down. Then I'm going to take this piece, put it in the corner in there, and then glue them down. And I should be all set and done with that. And then I can bolt on the Happy Jack.
Todd got a new caulk gun, so it's working better. I think that stuff is still tough to squeeze out.
Actually, it's not too bad now. This caulk gun made all the difference.
Uh-oh, yeah.
It's all coming together.
Yeah, looks really good. It's like it can be like brand new.
Let's see, how's it looking?
Pretty good. I'm having a hard time getting this foamy tape stuff off, but other than that, I guess I'll go get some goof off and see if I can get it with that.
Looks good. It's a lot cleaner than it was.
Yeah, and I probably need to hit it with some paint right there and a couple of rusty spots. So.
Yeah. What we've done so far is we've got the wood down, and we decided to put some weights on top of it while it dries, while the glue dries. So that's done all the way around. Everything's looking good. And over here, I've got the Happy Jacks all bolted down, and I had to paint the mounts to the Happy Jack because they're kind of rusty and bad looking. So we got those all painted up, and then put all the hardware back on, and so everything should be good and solid, and we're going to be moving on to the vertical walls. Carla's getting ready to climb up in here and clean it all out before I put the walls in, so that'll be fun to watch. Here we go, Carla's going to climb in. Let's see if she makes it. Let's see if that diet she's been on, if it works. She's got us both on. Here's what Carla's using down inside the basement. Clorox cleaner and bleach. It's working real well, and she's in there scrubbing away. See, here she is. And
right in here. Works pretty good.
works good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting it all cleaned up.
Yeah, we got this little grinding wheel and it's working pretty good. Getting all the sand, the rust and flaky paint off.
Check out what Carla did.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. I use this stuff. And it got Sharpie off.
Clorox cleaner plus bleach.
I mean,
that stuff was fantastic.
I mean, we've used some other stuff up until this point. We've used several things, but that is like got the rest of it off.
Got the rest of the permanent marker that somebody drew on the fiberglass. So
yeah, that's pretty
That's awesome. It got it off the toilet seat, got it off the wall.
And we thought that was not coming off.
Well, the basement's looking good. I'm almost done. It's been a grind, a big grind, getting it done, but it's almost there. I should be able to finish it today. Let me go ahead and show you. Here it is. Here's the generator area. I've redone that, put all new wood in there from top to bottom, and actually made a little access panel to the storage area, so I got a good bit extra storage going all the way back in there. So pretty excited about that. We can get some long stuff in there like brooms or fold up chairs or something like that. And this is the other area, the main basement area there. It's looking good. Carly cleaned it all out yesterday. I do need to finish this little board here, but I'm going to do that after I put the doors on, which I'll do a little later. And in the water area, it's looking, it's almost done. I got one more board to put up in there, and then I'm going to put the door back on and get it back together. So we're almost there. Should be able to finish up today.
Here's what I've done so far on this step. So I'm spray painting I've actually sanded all these down, and now I'm spraying the step that goes on top of the bumper with Rust-Oleum white gloss spray paint. And it'll take a little bit to dry after we do it, but hopefully it'll look pretty good.
Look like new.
Yeah.
I'm just cleaning up around these doors so I can put the doors back on. Looking forward to getting that done. So the end is near as far as the basement rebuild. So right now I'm just cleaning off the old sealant around the old doors there. And these things right here, the plastic razor blades, everybody should get some of these. These things are fantastic because you can not only use them for fiberglass campers, but you can use them on windows. You can take off dealer, like vehicle dealer decals they put on there, just stickers, anything, and they don't scratch the surface. So these things are great. We bought them. This is a box of 100 of them here, and we bought a package of 2 handles, 200 razor blades. They're like $15 or something. We'll put a link down below so you can check that out. So highly recommended, but they work great on just small projects like this. I'm using some butyl tape to put around the edges of all these exterior doors to seal it up. It's very sticky, so you just put it down, and then I just kind of take the wax paper it comes with, kind of push it down with my finger there, my thumb. I'm just working my way all the way around the door, doing the whole edge. This is not a how-to, this is just a how we do it. All right, got the butyl tape on there, gonna put the door back in. Stick it in there and push it tight.
Does that keep it in there?
Yeah, this actually does keep it in there, although with this camper has a little contour here. I did put a little extra right here, and I'm probably actually going to go back and seal up all the edges with some sealant around there as well. But at least this will keep the door in. The glue will soften up and it'll stick to it real well. The glue, the butyl tape was in the refrigerator, they say, to keep it cold, and then put it in there because you can work with it better. So once it warms up, it'll get real super sticky, and the door will be good to go. The door's in, the butyl tape is up. It does hold the door on. However, this does also have some screws that go around. I still need to put the screws in, but there's a couple on the bottom, 2 or 3 on the top. So it's not the only thing that holds it in, but it does hold it in and seal it up. So that's how it works.